Welcome back, everyone. Today is going to be an exciting day. Now, as many of you know, in the month of January, chess.com brought to us some great bots, including Mittens, Megan, and others. Now, for the month of February, chess.com has removed those bots and replaced them with a new set of bots. Now, to start with, there's this bot called ChessGPT, which has a rating of 249. Now, we're not going to play against ChessGPT. Obviously, it is a takeoff on ChatGPT, of which Microsoft, I believe, bought about a 49% stake for somewhere in the range of a paltry $10 billion. We also have Chippy, rated 700. We have PAL 9000, which is rated 1200. We also have Skyweb, which is rated 1600. And of course, last but not least, we have the classic Agent Chess, rated 2700, which of course, it looks like a picture of Agent Smith from the Matrix. So we are going to be playing some games against Agent Smith today, and we will start from there. All right, away we go. First game, I'm going to play with the white pieces, and I'm going to start by playing e4. Now, as we know, the bot is rated 2700, so I think that I should be a little bit better than it if I play precisely, unlike Mittens, where I was a big underdog. So we get e4, e5. As you guys can see from the banter, you must know it by now. You can't win. It's pointless to keep playing. I'm going to enjoy watching you lose. All right, so let's play knight f3. Keep it simple here. Plays bishop c5. Now, bishop c5, is this a blunder or am I crazy? Bishop c5 is actually a move that I am not super familiar with. I'm kind of stumped, and we're only on the second move of the game. Now I'm going to presume that I can take this pawn. I know bishop c5 is not the move. Based on 500 years of chess theory, black normally plays moves like knight c6, knight to f6, or even d6, but bishop c5 I think is a mistake. So let's take the pawn. Never send a human to play a machine's game. So it goes queen h4. Okay, so it's attacking both the pawns on e4 and f2 here. I can defend with either queen f3 or queen e2. f3 guards f2 and e4. e2 also guards e4 and f2. My first instinct is that if I go queen f3, it plays knight f6, attacking the pawn, and my queen is a little bit loose here. If I go queen e2, I can retreat the knight back to f3, attacking the queen. I can still play d3 and develop the bishop, so queen e2 should be the right move here. So Agent Smith plays knight to c6. Now, if I were to trade the knights, black is going to take with a d pawn, and very quickly both of these bishops become very active. So my assumption is that I do not want to trade the knights and help him develop this light square bishop. So I'm going to play knight to f3, attacking the queen. Next move, I'm almost certainly going to play c3 here, stopping the knight jumps to b4, d4, and then I play d4 and build this big center. So let's go c3. Idea to play d4 here. I think I'm doing very well. So Agent Smith plays bishop to e7. Let's go d4, create our big center. We have pawns on e4 and d4. He plays d5. Now I can obviously take the pawn if I want. I can also play e5 here. My first instinct is that e5 is probably a better move, because if I take, once again, black can take, develop the bishop very quickly to g4, f5, and castle the king out of the middle of the board. If I play e5, I prevent him from developing the knight. If he goes to h6, I can probably trade at the very least. e5 does allow f6, however, so I do have to think about it. The other option I have is I could trade and play something like queen to c4. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take and go queen c4, try to trade some queens very quickly if I can. If queen e4, I will block and then develop my knight to d2, attacking the queen. So Agent Chess plays knight to f6. Let's trade the queens here. I'm up a pawn. I go bishop d3 and castles, and I feel like I've basically played this game with pawn odds, or the computer's playing with pawn odds. I think I'm doing very, very well. So if I go knight g5, which looks like a pretty reasonable move, I want to trade the knight for the bishop. Takes. Now I have the two bishops. I still have my pawn center here very much intact. Let's go bishop to e3. And this is very, very pleasant. I should win this game unless I do something insane here. I think I will just I can castle, or I can play knight d2. I don't know if it matters, but realistically, if I go knight d2, the only reason to move the knight before castling the king would be if I want to castle queenside, and I don't. So I'm going to castle kingside because I see no difference. Goes knight to e5. Whoa. So if I take, there's knight takes e3, and that is not a move that I was expecting. And now this might get a little bit tricky for me. I guess I can go back to c2, but then he takes and he goes knight c4. So I'm going to go to e2. If he takes, I take knight c4. I can trade. Still a little bit tricky there. Goes knight c4. I think I take. Play rook to e1 to guard the pawn. Although I could play rook f2 and knight d2. Also an interesting idea. Rook e1 feels correct, but rook f2 also makes sense. A little bit tricky here. I think I am going to play rook to f2, mainly because when I go knight to d2, I can bring the other rook into the game. I still target the pawn on f7 as well, and I think I should be in good shape. I assume I should play e4 here, take the center again. Probably going to play f6 here, which is what I expected. Now I could maybe play b4 and a3, which I kind of like. I can also go b4 a4 a5 maybe, or a4 a5. I'm worried about c5 as a move, so let's think about this for 1 second. If I go b4, he has rook d6, but nonetheless I think b4 should be a good move. I want to stop c5. I think I'm going to play a4 a5 here, and I feel like I'm doing well. I'm going to go a5, and the idea is very simple. Black doesn't have any pawn breaks on the queen side now, and I should be able to eventually bring my pieces more towards the center. So I think I'm going to start with rook to e2. I'm probably going to go king to f2. Now if I go rook e3 is f5 a move. It's a move, but it's not a move that scares me. I just go e5, and then I have a very, very nice center pawn. So bishop d7, let's bring the king closer. I could play h4 to stop some advance, but if I go h4, he'll put the bishop on g4. I'm probably not super thrilled. On the other hand, if I play h4, I can maneuver my knight to g3 and then play rook e1. So there are trade-offs here. My assumption is that rook e1 should be right. The only problem that I have in this position is that my knight is not very well placed. So if I go knight f3, is g5 a threat? It probably is. Nonetheless, I think knight f3 is a good move, because if g5, I think I can play e5 here, g4 knight h4, fe5 rook e5, and that should be pretty good for me. Although e5, I'm still going to play it. Probably it's going to go g4 knight h4. If takes, I take. I can play rook e1. Okay, it goes bishop d5. So if I play rook e1 here, let's move knight g6 knight f4. Also a very strong idea here to get the knight back to the center of the board. I can take a pawn on f6. Actually, that is a free pawn, it looks like. Wait, or no, he has rook f8 after I take on f6, so it's not a free pawn. Always have to be careful when you're playing against computers. Rook e1, of course, is a pretty reasonable move too. Takes. I don't know which one is best, so I think what I want to do is I want to take, but I also don't want to take. So how do I do this? I guess it's tricky. I can also play knight g6 knight e5, but the knight doesn't look right, so I think I'm going to take. It's going to go rook f8. I think I'm going to go, I can either check or not, but I think check should be right. Check is a move, or rook e5. Both moves look reasonable. Both moves should be fine. I think rook e7 makes more sense though, to check the king. And it says, do you believe this check means something temporary constructs of a feeble human intellect trying desperately to justify a move that is without meaning or purpose? Now I'm going to go rook e1. It's going to take, and I'm going to move my king to g3, or g1 I guess is also playable. This is still tricky. If I go to g1, the king is maybe better. If I go to g3 and I can play rook e5, rook takes h5, I win both these pawns. So I think the king belongs here just to try and win these two pawns. Plays b6. Now I can take, which makes sense. I can maybe play a6, but it doesn't look right, so I'm gonna trade. It's gonna take, and then probably I trade and go rook e5, or I play rook e5 right away. Rook e5 right away actually looks very, very good. The reason that I'm not going to trade and go rook e5 is there might be rook f8 and rook a8, although that might also just be good. Takes, rook e5, rook f8, rook h5, rook a8, king g4. That should be winning, so let's trade. Go rook e5 pre-move, rook h6, probably rook e6. Wow. Now I assume that this endgame is winning, although I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, I don't want to be right though, so I'm assuming I can bring my king, my pawn, and eventually rotate the knight back into the game, and I'm going to assume this must be winning. So I will go g3 so that I can move the knight without hanging the pawn. Let's go knight f5 and knight e3 here. I mean, this has to be winning. This has to be winning. If this isn't winning, I don't know what is. So I'm going to go here and probably play knight e4. And what I want to do is eventually, I think I need to get my knight to somehow I need to get this knight to this f4 square eventually, I think. Now I can play d5. That's not a good move. Knight d2 is a move. Knight c5 also is a move, but I feel like somehow I'm managing to misplay this. I am managing to misplay this, which is kind of annoying, I got to be honest. Now I go knight d2, bishop g6, king g5, bishop f7, knight e4, knight h5. That should be winning. It's not trivial, but it should be winning. So I go here, bishop g6, king g5, bishop f7, knight b3. knight b3, king d5, king f6, bishop e8, knight a5. Again, should be winning, but this is going to be tricky. Now if I move the knight to f2, king d5 is probably good. Knight c5, king d5, king g5, king c4 is not what I want. So knight d2 is the move that looks correct to me, but is it enough to win is the big question. It should be enough to win. I go knight d2, bishop g6, king g5, bishop f7, knight e4, here, takes, still tricky. So knight d2, bishop f7, knight d2, bishop g6, king g5, bishop f7, and then I have to find a special maneuver with the knight. Maybe I go knight b1, but that doesn't look right. Knight b3, king d5, king f6, bishop to e8. Still very tricky to win this. Still very tricky. So I think what I want to do is somehow I want to get d5, and maybe I go knight d2, knight f1, e3. Although again, it's still nothing is guaranteed here. So I play knight c5 check, king d5, knight d7, king c4, maybe knight b8. Actually, maybe this is how I do it. I think I go here and then here to get the knight to e5. Yes, this is actually how I do it. I go check, king d5, and now if I go here, king c4, so I think I go here, so at king c4 I have knight e5 check, and I take and I guard both pawns. I guard both the pawns, and now I can go king e5 and d5, and now I'm going to win the game. I go here, d5, d6, and this must be winning ice. This has to be winning. If I go d5, bishop e8, king d, yeah, I go d5, bishop e8, king d6, or not king d6, sorry, king d6 is maybe, king d6 actually is a move here. So I move the king here, bishop has no squares because it gets the knight e5 check, forks the king and the bishop. So I think I do actually go king d6 here, and bishop f7, it's a fork. Bishop g6, same thing, it's a fork. And now I can go king e7, and I go d6, d7, and I'm through, and I win the game. There's also knight e5 with the fork, so now it's pretty straightforward. I will just take. I think I will go knight a7, and then I run the king back this way. It goes here, I go here, king g6, and then I'm going to sack the knight, take the pawns, and we get a very nice clean win here. So we win the first game against Agent Chess, which of course is modeled after the Agent Smith. Now I could also just take the pawns on b4. I have knight c6 and knight a5. I go here, b3, knight a5, sack for the pawn, and it will be completely winning. So I take, and now it's just a matter of mopping it up, make the queen pretty quickly. Go here. Fortunately, it does prove that the rating is pretty accurate, by the way, because if I were to play against a 2700 rated player, I should win the majority of games. Let's go here. I just push the pawn. Very good stuff. h6, h7, h8, queen. Very basic. Go here, queen c6, of course, and now you just use the queen, force the king into the corner, and then that's checkmate. There we go. Very good. So we're gonna play another one. We're gonna play with the black pieces now. All right, let's click on new game. I'm gonna play against Agent Chess. I'm gonna play with black this time, and there we go. Okay, so e3. I guess I'll just play knight f6. Gonna be a lot harder one with black. Let's play, oh, I meant to play c6, not b6, but it would appear that the bot does not have an opening book. Now I don't remember if Mittens had an opening book, but one thing that's very important when you play against computers is one of the big differences between computers and humans is that computers have these built-in opening books which show many millions of variations in all sorts of different openings, which gives them a huge advantage over the human who does not have access to such a database. I know in the early days when computer programming and chess programs were first sort of coming out, one of the things that I think that Garry Kasparov said is that he felt that it was a little bit unfair that these engines had access to the opening book as opposed to having to start from move one with no knowledge. Now we get e4 here. This looks like a pretty good move. Now I can trade everything down. I can also go c4 and take the pawn. What do I want to do here? If I take, there's knight d4. Maybe I'll just take and then take on D, trade everything off, play knight to F6 and then bishop. Whoa. Oh, whoa. I was expecting knight takes D4. I guess let's trade. I will take, he's going to take on D4. I'll probably go bishop to E7, or no, bishop G5. Let's go bishop E7 here. I guess we trade. Knight takes D4. I castle, and I still have knight F6 maybe. Oh wait, if I castle, he has bishop H7, takes, check, king G8, queen takes D5, takes, and rook takes queen, which would win a pawn. So I can't actually castle, which means I am in trouble, kind of, maybe not, because I guess I have queen G5 to threaten checkmate in one with the right triangle. Knight F3. I guess I don't really like taking, but I think I have. Oh no, but if I wait, if I take queen F3 and castles, it still might have bishop H7 and queen D3 check with the right triangle, but I think I have to go for it anyway. Yeah, I have to go for it anyway. So I'll take. I'm gonna castle because if he takes and plays queen D3, I block and I take C2. Now I get knight F6 at least, and I should be okay here. Pawns are a little bit weak here on the queen side. Bishop is well placed. Now I can play B5 here. I can also go queen C5 to trade the queens. I think this is more logical because even though I have a weak pawn here, I can go rook C8. I can guard the pawns on the dark squares, bring the king to the center slowly, and I should be okay. Should be okay being the keyword. Now if I go rook C8, if it plays B4, I assume I can just take. So bishop C4. Now there's no B4 idea because I take and win the bishop. So I will bring my king to the center of the board. At some point I will probably play A5 to put the pawn on a dark square from whence the bishop can't attack it. Let's go king E7. I think now I will play A5 so I can remove the rook, put it on B8 without hanging this pawn on A6. I can play knight D7. I can also go G6. Knight D7 looks like a pretty reasonable move here to attack the rook. I'll go H6, avoid hanging the pawn. Probably knight B6 next move, or rook C7, or rook B8, or C4. So many options here. I think I can also maybe play A4, but that's probably too risky. So let's go rook B8, attack the pawn on B2, B3. I think I'm going to play knight to B6 makes some sense. Idea to play C4 or A4, push both pawns. Now if I play A4 C4, that's probably just a draw with C4 knight A4, but I still think my position's not all that great. So it makes some sense to play A4, but I have to be careful about B4 too. I can also play knight D5. I could also just play C4 here to try and force a draw. And actually C4 I kind of like, because now if white takes, I can put the knight on A4 or D7. I don't know which square I'm going to. My assumption is A4 is better, because from D7, well maybe not, because D7 I have these two squares. I also have E5 to hit the bishop. From A4 I'm looking at 3 squares, so I assume A4 is better with these 3 possibilities versus these 2 possibilities. So plays rook E1. I will go rook C5 to stop rook to E5, and probably I'm going to go knight B2 somewhere in here, although maybe that's not a great move. Maybe I just go back, play knight 5 and then F6 and keep it simple. Let's go if I play rook B7, it is rook E5. So let's go knight C5, attack the bishop, F4. I feel like I've misplayed this just a little bit. I'm still fine, I think, and I should probably not lose this. I can take and play rook B3, which should be enough to draw with rook D7 at the end. So I think I should just bail out here and make the draw with rook B3. It's not what I want, but it should be good enough to win the pawn on A3. I think I have rook D7 here, which should be enough. I also have rook A3, but I think if I go rook D7 trade, rook E5 takes, yeah, this should be enough to draw. And I take D3 is weak. I have rook D4 here at the end. It's going to go rook E5. So I take, I play rook D4 here, attack 2 pawns at once, and once he doesn't have 2 connected pawns here, I'll be completely safe and the game should end in a draw. Although I just blundered. Oh no, I actually just blundered. I missed this. Wait a second, this is a little bit tricky now. Wait a second, I got a little bit careless here. I guess I take A5, king D8. This still should be a draw, but maybe I blundered. Did I actually just throw this game away? I hope not. I hope I didn't just throw this game, but I think I did. Oh no, I just blundered this game away. Oh no, I think I did. Maybe not. Wait, so oh no, I think I did though. Oh no. If I go king c8, a6, and I play g5, there's he can move the rook and play a7. Oh no, I did blunder this. Oh no. I guess if I go king f8, king c8 rather, I should say, I kind of have to take it. Takes, I go rook a4, attack the pawn, a7, maybe I go g5. I mean, this probably is losing. Go here, stop the king from getting in, and I'm zugzwanged. I'm such an idiot for playing this endgame the way I did. I missed rook c7 and I lose the game. Oh, this is a great tragedy, because basically you can just zugzwang me. It just waits all over the board, and I just, oh, that was so stupid. If I had played rook d7, I would have drawn this game, but alas, it is what it is. I'll play it out just so you guys see how it's winning for white. But basically you can just slowly play h3. You can just zugzwang me until I can't move the king because there's check and he queens, and I'm just stuck here. That is very unfortunate. I'll just resign this game rather than wasting time. Very disappointing. As I was stating back here, at this point this was completely equal. Right about here I went for this end game, and I just missed that there's this rook c7 move. If I hadn't missed rook c7, or if I had seen rook c7 rather, then I never would have played this. But alas, it is what it is. If I was tryharding in a regular game, what I would have done is I would have played rook d7. After f4, I would have gone rook d7, takes king d7, rook e5, king d6, and that should be a draw with the open b file. Black maybe even is slightly better, but I made a blunder, and that's what it is. At any rate, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video of me playing against the latest bot from chess.com, which is Agent Chess, modeled after Agent Smith from the Matrix. Hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Make sure to hit that subscribe button below if you haven't, and we'll definitely have more YouTube content soon to come. See you guys soon. Have a good one. Bye.